It is 4 p.m. on Sunday night, and I am sitting here, full face of makeup, hair done, in my comfy, nighttime blanket robe thing, whatever the hell this is. I got it from Costco. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. But I am sitting here just a little old lady crocheting while my husband is out to dinner. It's his birthday weekend. His birthday was on Friday the 13th. My little Libra. I love him so much. Okay. His birthday was on Friday. We went into the city, downtown Chicago, and we went to the Museum of Contemporary Art. And then we went to this tapas restaurant, and it was just all around very, very nice. And then yesterday, our local library was having a used book sale, so we went to that and just kind of hung around the house. We played a new board game that we had picked up, started to play it, had a bottle of champagne, and just kind of had a nice day. And then today, the last day of his birthday weekend, it's a tradition with him and his parents to go and do Red Lobster all-you-can-eat shrimp on his birthday. He started it with his dad when he was younger. But I am so nauseous today. I can't shake it. I got half a protein shake in me and one packet of protein oatmeal at lunch, and I haven't eaten anything else. I just really could not imagine sitting in a fishy restaurant while people eat bottomless shrimp next to me. Sorry, no. And I don't like the food very much in the first place, so not having any safe food, there's nothing safe on the menu. I think I normally do coconut shrimp, but even that shrimp texture, inconsistent. You can't trust it. So I was gonna push through, but it's just been so much. I planned the weekend, and going into the city takes a lot out of me. And I just knew that going would be too much and would possibly result in me sick in the bathroom from, honestly, anxiety of the sensory overwhelm from being in that restaurant while not feeling well. Anybody who has anxiety knows, once you've had a really terrible experience, you're always afraid that you're going to have that experience again in a restaurant. And so I couldn't. I tapped out. I had full hair, makeup, outfit, jeans on, and everything. But in the last 20 minutes, I was just it's not gonna be good for me. And I'm proud of myself. I'm genuinely proud of myself for knowing that would have been a tipping point. My husband was saying, when we get home, we'll take really good care of you. Not trying to push me into going, but before, when I wasn't feeling well and I was pushing through, he was well, priority will be getting you regulated when we get home, which I very much appreciate and I very much would need, and it would probably work. I would probably be able to self-medicate and relax enough to not be frozen, not be in a shutdown for very long after dinner. But see, even that, I know I'll be in a shutdown. I know the second we hit the car, no matter how the dinner goes, I'll shut down and it'll be a quiet ride home and I'll just collapse because I will have pushed myself too far. And so I didn't go. And that's super, super big for me, if I'm being completely honest. But instead of risking having another traumatizing experience in a restaurant and just grinning and bearing through dinner and then worrying about how I came off to my mother and father-in-law and stuff like that, no, I'm just going to stay home because I know and I acknowledge my limitations. And my husband said it was okay and he understands. And like, I'm not hurting anyone. I'm just actively not hurting myself. And I don't understand. I do understand why, but it's frustrating that it's so hard for me to make that decision. To go with just the like, everybody else is okay and you're just like not in misery, so just stay home. Like it's gonna be fine. But that has always been something I push through, and something that leads to bad experiences, and something that leads to burnout. And I've been realizing lately that I think I push myself through things way too much. Like way too much. I'll talk about that later. I'd love to break it down and talk about it more. But my point is that I'm trying to pay attention to where I push myself. And this definitely was going to be a situation where I didn't just push myself with the hope of like, maybe it'll turn out okay. I was going to push myself with the knowledge that it wouldn't turn out okay. And, you know, that's important to acknowledge. It feels so silly that that has to be the step that I'm at, that like I struggle to acknowledge it, and it's good when I do acknowledge it, but it's where I'm at. And even now I'm like talking down to myself, so we're just gonna stop that. Home for the evening by myself and hoping to do some video recording, maybe some talking. We'll see. I'm not gonna push myself. I just watched that back, and by the end, I'm saying like, all I can do is recognize when I'm going to push myself too far, and I'm like upset with myself that I'm at that stage. No, Summer, you didn't push yourself. You acknowledged that you were going to push yourself too far, and then you chose not to go. How am I gaslighting myself low key? And then like I have to like make sure I watch back to make sure I'm not being mean to myself. I'm going through some things. I'm having some things click in my head, and I'm excited to figure them out. That's for sure. Maybe share them with you guys, because that's been helping, obviously. Like, I caught myself in this because I watched back myself talking to myself. Otherwise, I wouldn't have realized. I would have just ended on like a little, woe is me. No. I did it.